So in episode 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, we hear mention of Quinlan Vos. Now, I've seen this guy talking with Sebulba in episode 1, and then, of course, in Clone Wars, but I want to know more.
Yeah, so Quinlan was a Jedi. He was a Jedi Master, was with the Order, and he was especially skilled in tracking. I think he's evolved over time because he initially, I think, was labeled as a Sentinel and was put on undercover missions. He's with his lightsaber in the lightsaber book. He's more of a Guardian with the green blade, but he was especially skilled in the tracking because of his unique force ability with recognition, which we kind of see that's the same ability that we have in Jedi Fallen Order, correct?
Yeah, with like Calcassus.
So he can touch an object and he can connect with that object and see kind of what happened to the person and that object around it. So that made him kind of skilled in tracking. But he's present in season 3 in Clone Wars, and you see him talking with Obi-Wan and other Jedi Masters there. But he's definitely become a fan favorite, and so seeing him mentioned in the newest Kenobi episode, I think a lot of fans are speculating that maybe he is the person that saves Grogu instead of Mace Windu, possibly. So, or Jocasta Nu. So, and especially since it's mentioned that he helps usher in younglings away from the Empire and the Sith and the Inquisitors, that could be something we see. We never know.
Yeah,
maybe we'll find out in Mando season 3.
Yeah, he has a very interesting history because, as you talked about, he was a Jedi Master that kind of just was very much like a Sentinel. He would go undercover, ferret out evil. And what's really interesting is, you get to see him in action with Obi-Wan and his relationship he builds in Clone Wars when they fight Cad Bane. But what's really interesting and why we're talking about this is because, like Josh said, in season 3, his name shows up in this hideout that Obi-Wan has, and he's like, Quinlan Vos? Like, he's alive? Because in this book, The Secret of the Sith, he's actually listed in here as a dark disciple for Count Dooku. So you can actually see him, Ventress, and him in here as some of the dark disciples, because he is actually on mission for the Jedi to assassinate Count Dooku, ends up running to Ventress. They fall in love. Ventress ends up giving her life to, basically free him from Count Dooku's clutches, but it's a little too late. He's kind of fallen to the dark side. And then Obi-Wan Kenobi actually is one that helps him kind of reconnect with his Jedi roots, become a Jedi again. And eventually he convinces the Council and the Jedi Order to re-accept him as a Jedi Master and a Jedi Knight. And so this is going to be really interesting because a lot of people just assumed that he was dead, and Filoni has a great way of just bringing back these characters. So I want to kind of throw it back here to all of us. Like, do you think we could see maybe the death of Quinlan Vos, or maybe a fall back to the dark side again? Or is he really saving younglings, or is he working for the Emperor?
These are great questions. And I really like where they're, I like this a lot because I think it's best to leave Mace to rest. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, you guys, if you think
Sam L's back. He's game for coming back. He doesn't think he doesn't think Mace is dead.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but let us know in the comments though. Like, do you guys think, who would you rather see rescuing younglings? Mace Windu with one arm, scaring all the younglings, or
Vos,
Vos,
Yeah.
So, but I like, and I also like that this is somebody that the fans are getting excited about, right? And that, once again, like, leave it to Filoni to just kind of, hey, we're gonna bring back maybe close up an arc, or let's finish up some of these storylines.
He likes taking breadcrumbs, and we're connecting these show to show. I know you and I talked on Patreon last week about like I enjoy the shows, but I want to see the big fanfare of a movie again.
Yep.
And I think we're going to get that here in a little bit with Taika's movie and some of the other stuff that's in the works. But for right now, the movie or the shows have been doing a great job with kind of breadcrumbs back and forth to each other. I think people had complaints about Book of Boba Fett with that, but like I think there's great connectivity that we're getting with the shows, and they've been doing a great job tying back into old stuff that has become legends, pulling it into canon with Mount Tardis and some of that other stuff that we were getting with Bad Batch. But then we also have some old, more members of the Jedi Order that potentially have survived Order 66 than previously thought.
Yeah. There he is, from an obscure character that you kind of see in the background of episode 1 to now he's like a big character that we could see that could affect Kenobi and more. So I'm excited to see what this will happen. But, originally we thought he was dead. Just assumed that he was probably killed by Dooku or the Emperor. So this is going to do you guys think he's going to fall to the dark side? Do you think he's still good? Do you think he kind of, after his fall and resurrection back to the light, do you think he's kind of amended his ways? I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I mean, I'll take dark side if we're just gonna, if we're just gonna, if we're just gonna go 50-50 here. I'll go dark side.
Let's do it.
I'm like, yeah. Let's. Yeah. I mean, now when we say this, like, do you think we see him show up in this Obi-Wan series? Do you think there's a chance that that this is another potential fight for Obi-Wan?
I think he's not going to be a fight, but I think he's going to show up because it's all these have Filoni's fingerprints over it, right? Like you have Cad Bane show up, you have Boba Fett show back up, you have Luke show back up, you have Ahsoka, you have Hera, Ezra, Thrawn, like all these things that he's been involved with are showing back up. And so I think Quinlan is going to show back up because that's kind of a character that they introduced in the Clone Wars when Filoni was working with Lucas. So I don't see how we get a name drop and we get nothing else. Like there's got to be something there. Yeah.
When is Acolyte set in?
I'm
looking it up right now. I'm trying to figure out if Acolyte is.
I think it's 100 years before the Republic. So I don't think
final days of the High Republic era. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's I was gonna say, because that would be an interesting way to lead into something if he could do, but I mean that's not going to be that. But I mean there's always the potential for more shows. There's always I mean the show run of Kenobi being limited series has a lot of people questioning if maybe we can get more out of it. So maybe it leads to a Book of Boba Fett type spinoff, because Book of Boba Fett I don't think was planned out as a thing. It kind of I think it spontaneously became a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
awesome.
I mean that's a quick kind of who Quinlan is, and if you're questioning why that was a moment in the latest episode, you found us. And if you want to hear more about Star Wars, be sure to tune into the Bendu Podcast. We record right now. We're kind of recording weekly because there's a lot of Star Wars to talk about. So be sure to like and follow, and come back and get some more Star Wars with us.
And if there's characters you want us to cover, please let us know in the comments below as well. And of course, hit that like button.